My dad died of cancer about 5 weeks after he was diagnosed. It's hard because we only had 5 weeks, and it's really not a lot of time. And I feel like had any healthcare provider who had seen him within those last few years, had any of them had a similar attention to detail, we may have had more time and he may have had more hope. I think about my dad most often when I'm in clinic, when I'm feeling tired or distracted or like I'd like to be somewhere else and I have to see more patients. Build Beyond exists to challenge and guide so that you can meet your full potential. And I believe that my dad would be happy and proud of that. Welcome to Build Beyond, a podcast designed to challenge and guide you on your health journey so that you can meet your full potential. I'd like to explain the reason why we selected the name Build Beyond. The name was inspired by my dad, who passed away a number of years ago from cancer. My dad was a Renaissance man. I think that's the best way to describe him. He grew up on a farm and he could fix anything. He could build anything. It didn't matter if it was building something out of wood or out of metal. He had a green thumb. He could grow anything, and he was an avid gardener. He was an avid outdoorsman as well, hunting and fishing. He was a former collegiate football player, a former Marine who fought in Vietnam, a college graduate. He was an avid reader. I don't think that there was anything that my dad couldn't do or couldn't figure out, or at least that's how I remember him. My dad died of cancer about 5 weeks after he was diagnosed. He died of metastatic lung cancer. And he didn't have, obviously, an aggressive form of cancer that just started and then 5 weeks later he died. He'd obviously had it for quite some time. I wasn't a healthcare provider at the time. I have gone back over his medical records or at least what I have, and I've thought about it and talked to other people. And I feel like if you gave my dad's case to any healthcare provider in training while they're in school, someone who's just new to the diagnostic process, I feel like his case would be the easiest test question out there. It should have been so obvious that he had cancer. And I think if you took an educated guess, you probably could have narrowed it down to lung cancer. The interesting thing is that within the last few years of his life, he saw numerous medical providers for a variety of issues. He saw an ortho, he saw a dentist, he saw an optometrist, an ophthalmologist, a chiropractor regularly, unfortunately. He saw a naturopath. I mean, the list goes on. And I don't blame any of them for his death. I mean, it's very likely that he would have died from cancer on the same day, whether or not someone had intervened earlier or not. I do think it's sad because it was a missed opportunity for any one of them to step up and look outside of their scope of practice and not diagnose him, but realize that something was wrong and that he needed a higher level of care for something more serious than what he was coming to them to receive care for. So I don't blame them. I just think it was a missed opportunity. It's hard because we only had 5 weeks, and it's really not a lot of time. And I would have liked more time. I know a lot of our immediate family would have liked more time, and my dad would have liked more time. This is the only time I've ever seen my dad scared during those last 5 weeks. And I think scared is a good word to use. My dad was deeply religious, and he came to peace with his mortality relatively quickly. But there was a period in there where I think he would have done anything for more time. Now, let me tie it together and explain the reason why we named it Build Beyond. My dad was a really good carpenter, really, really good. Most people would consider him a craftsman, although he hated that. He hated the concept of being a craftsman or an artisan. He was a builder, and I think he would have been most comfortable with the term builder or carpenter. But he built things, and he built great things. And he had a really, really excellent attention to detail. And I feel like had any healthcare provider who had seen him within those last few years, had any of them had a similar attention to detail, we may have had more time and he may have had more hope. I think about my dad most often when I'm in clinic, when I'm feeling tired or distracted or like I'd like to be somewhere else and I have to see more patients. I think about other healthcare providers who may have felt the same way when my dad was in the waiting room and he was looking for help. And I want to make sure that I don't miss the same opportunities that they missed. I will say that serious cases like my dad are rare for me. I think maybe less than 2% of the people who come to see me have anything seriously wrong with them. But it does happen from time to time. I like to think that I can aspire to be like my dad and have a similar attention to detail with my patients so that I don't miss anything and so that I can provide the best care. So I can provide the care that I would want to receive and that I wish that my dad had received when he was still alive. Now, when I was thinking about names for this project, I was thinking about my dad. I was thinking about his attention to detail. I was thinking about him being a builder. I was thinking about the healthcare that he didn't get. And the name just made sense. We help people build beyond. I'm also a fan of Simon Sinek, and the concept of finding my why has been really valuable. Build Beyond exists to challenge and guide so that you can meet your full potential. And I believe that my dad would be happy and proud of that.